Hello, everybody. What up, YouTube Live? Ooh, it's already noon, huh? Man, time flies. Today is May 20th, Wednesday, and outside the workers are mowing my lawn. I shouldn't say my lawn, it's not like mine, but I live in an apartment. There's a freaking yard, and so every Wednesday they're mowing the lawn. So I apologize if you hear some noises out there while we're doing this live stream. But they got to do their job. So okay, so this is exciting. Oh my god. No, this is not just a meme. Zack Snyder's Justice League cut, is finally getting the release it deserves. And I tweeted like this past week, I believe. You know, I said on my tweet, and it got retweeted quite plenty by people, that if the Zack Snyder Justice League cut ever gets released on digital on VOD in this current time of pandemic, where we're staying at home during this quarantine, man, that Snyder cut will be like the sales will be blowing Trolls World Tour out of the water. I said because Trolls World Tour like got big numbers, man, from the digital release instead of going straight to the theatrical because of the pandemic. So I was like, oh man, if they release it right now, whoo. So it's not that I predicted it, but it's nice that it happened like close to my tweet. But the thing is, it's not necessarily gonna be released this year either. It's gonna happen next year. So, what are you talking about, Rama? Okay, let me show you the email that I received. Um, hey, John Lee from Connecticut. So you know me. I'm part of the press. I'm part of the critics. So I get press releases from studios, and I get press release from HBO Max, uh, and Warner Brothers and DC. And so I want to read to you what they said here. HBO Max will release the Snyder Cut, Zack Snyder's director's cut of Justice League, to world premiere exclusively on the streamer in 2021. What's HBO Max? HBO Max is HBO's upcoming new digital streaming service. Because everybody's doing streaming service now. NBC now has a streaming service coming up called Peacock. Of course, Amazon Prime, Hulu, Netflix. So that's the saturated game that we're in right now. Everybody's doing digital streaming service. So HBO will have its own. It's called HBO Max. It launches this month, May 27th. But they're gonna release the Snyder Cut in 2021, as you can see there. There's no exact date yet. Um, Now, the announcement actually happened earlier this morning when Zack Snyder, the director of Justice League, Batman vs Superman, and Man of Steel, he had a Man of Steel watch party. Because that's the thing now, right? Because we're staying at home, so that's why you keep seeing like, oh, Twitter watch party of Bad Boys 2, or Twitter watch party of Fast and whatever it is. So he had a Man of Steel watch party, and he had um, Henry Cavill on, the Superman himself. And then that's when they announced this morning. He's like, yes, we heard you guys. You guys wanted this Zack Snyder cut, and we're gonna give it to you guys in 2021. Um, Now, if you're wondering again, maybe you haven't been following, like, what the hell is Zack Snyder cut? Well, here's the short snippet of what that is. All right, so Zack Snyder, as you know, directed Justice League, but I believe in the summer of 2017, because the movie was supposed to be released in theaters November or fall of 2017. In the summer, there was a tragic news. Zack Snyder's daughter committed suicide. It's very heartbreaking. So he stepped down. It was during post production of Justice League. He was busy, but he had to step down. And And Joss Whedon, the director of the Avengers and Avengers: Age of Ultron, he was brought on. He was hired by WB to kind of take over the production of Justice League. And at that point, I thought it was like, oh, maybe he's gonna do the post production stuff. Just gonna just do some polishing, editing stuff. Like, no. Apparently, Joss Whedon stepped in to actually do a big reshoot. So he pretty much altered Justice League significantly. He did reshoots, he did script changes. The tone was, the tone became much lighter, much comical, much humorous, and the runtime too, got shortened down or cut down. And apparently, it was all done. Those changes were all done under the mandate of Warner Brothers. The executives of Warner Brothers wanted those changes, and you know how it is, right? When there are too many chefs in the kitchen, that's usually not a good thing. So that's that's why the movie came out pretty bad. I'm one of the people who kind of like, oh, what is this? This is kind of crap. Some people liked it for like some of my friends says like, yeah, it's crap, but there's a beautiful chaotic to it. Like, okay. So ever since then there's been a movement, hashtag release the Snyder cut, asking the universe or the powers that be at WB to please release Justice League the way that Zack Snyder had it, before he had to step down. Hence, Zack Snyder cut. So there you go. That's the short version of why what that is, Zack Snyder cut. So okay, let me read to you the email that I received here. After global passionate fan calls to action and the hashtag release the Snyder Cut movement, HBO Max and Warner Brothers Pictures announced today that it will exclusively world premiere Zack Snyder's director's cut of the Warner Brothers Pictures DC feature film Justice League in 2021. Yay! Snyder surprised fans with the news this morning during a live online commentary of his film Man of Steel with Henry Cavill. Hashtag release the Snyder Cut first became a passionate rallying social media cry among fans in 2017 and has not let up. From countless press articles and hundreds of thousands of social media mentions, it became a powerful global movement among cinephiles and comic book fans. Here's Snyder's comment. I want to thank HBO Max and Warner Brothers for this brave gesture of supporting artists and allowing their true visions to be realized. Also, a special thank you to all of those involved in the Snyder Cut movement for making this a reality. You can the rest are just I think commentary from the or comments from the executives at HBO Max, and then the synopsis of Justice League. Okay, so I love this. Of course, a lot of you probably are anticipating this as well. Um, my friend tweeted the other day asking like, okay, how much, if they release the Snyder cut, how much of the Snyder cut that you want um, to 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 have Justice League be a good movie, some along that line. I'm paraphrasing, of course, and I told him, I responded, I said, like a lot, like all of it. He's My friend is on the camp that thinks Justice League, the 2017 Josh Whedon Justice League, was like, yeah, it was bad, but there was beauty in its mess, sort of deal. Um, but I'm not on that camp. I'm not on that camp at all. I'm like, I want all of it. I mean, just release the whole thing. It would take a lot of or all of it to make Justice League actually decent. Man, looking back, I think I rewatched Justice League, the Joss Whedon one, 2017, probably only twice. Once on digital, once in theaters, of course, and once on digital. And and then of course I rewatched the clips online sometimes on YouTube, and I'm like, okay, there were parts about it that I kind of enjoyed, or you know what, maybe this part should just stay like this. It shouldn't be, they should just leave it alone. But man, for the most part, that movie just was just problematic, and I'm looking forward to this Zack Snyder cut. Now, um, granted though, if you've been following me, you would know that I'm not the hugest or I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan. Okay, I'm not the biggest Zack Snyder fan. I thought Man of Steel also had its flaws. Um, what is that other movie that he did? The Dolls. Oh God, it's so with a lot of ladies. He wrote it himself. Mm. You know what? It's gonna kill me if I don't know this. Let's go to Google. Baby Doll, Zack Snyder, Sucker Punch. Oh my God, I hated Sucker Punch. So there you go. So and then of course there's some other movies that he did as well. Like I don't think here's the thing. I don't think Zack Snyder is necessarily the best storyteller in the business. But he does have his style. He sticks with it. You know what I'm saying? And as far as the DC stuff, he knows that the tone has to be a certain way. It has to be heavy, not a lot of humor like Josh Whedon is. Um, and one of the things that I hated about Justice League 2017 is that the villain Steppenwolf, there's not much substance to him. You know, we don't really, unless you already know his background or you're already familiar with him in the comic books. You watch it the first time, fresh. Like, who is this guy? He's very one dimensional. It's not a really meaty character. Sorry, they're mowing the lawn again. So I'm hoping that Zack Snyder in his cut kind of fills in that void, kind of answers, fills in that loophole, and hopefully that it'll make the movie makes more sense. It'll make the movie more impactful, more consequential, you know, as opposed to just action oriented, like what the 2017 gave us. So that's what I'm hoping. But just to let you know that I am not really the biggest Zack Snyder fan. That said, um, it is high time that we get to see Zack Snyder cut of Justice League released because you know if it weren't for that tragedy, which is devastating, then we wouldn't have to have this whole hashtag thing. But because of that situation, we need to see the vision that he initially had for Justice League, and it's about time that it's finally gonna come to light. So that's it. Those are my thoughts. What do you guys think? Are you guys as excited as I am about the release of Zack Snyder Cut in 2021? Man, I know it's a bit of a wait. I hate waiting, but I think it's gonna be worth it. And I think this is a marketing ploy as well, right? To get people to subscribe to HBO Max that's gonna launch this month. So it's a smart business, move on their part. So what do you guys think? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. What do you hope to see from this Zack Snyder Justice League cut? Compared to the 2017 Josh Whedon one. What kind of changes do you want to see happen here? What do you hope this movie would bring? Let me know your thoughts in the comment section down below. And as always, subscribe to my channel, press that like button, and ring that bell. And if you can help support me, please do so at patreon.com/ramascreen. Oh man, finally, right? Oh, and when it finally gets released next year, this is gonna blow every other thing on digital out of the water. You can take my word to the bank. Let's rock this.